February 10th, 3:36 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 7. Hello everybody and welcome back to Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. We are here in what will be the final video of both this game, this trilogy, and this Phoenix Wright LP. Regardless of how long it takes, this will be the final video. And just wait to see what happens, because it is amazing. If you thought it was good before, just wait until you see this video. It's going to be something awesome. Now then, before we proceed with any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On a bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test was impossible. However, there was one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Missy's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updating the court record. Found stuck in a pine tree in the inner temple garden. The blood doesn't match the victim's. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya, according to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the crime channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya, the pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Denim's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any...
Objection!
Straighten up, this innocent young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come in and out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. Poor Maya. At the inner temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. She was struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Ha. Can't say it was an especially good night for you young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through the testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. He doesn't look well at all. I'm gonna press this one.
Hold it!
You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Wow, it said like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do? Do I press her for more details? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's not what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you're facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know, that's like, what do you call it when that happens? Mine's not doing so well up there. Oh yeah, oh that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming at to for help. Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? Ha. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I can see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Are you sure about that?
Objection!
So there was a man sitting behind your attacker? Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise M, otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that storm lantern was not out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect, clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe a latte. Cafe a late. Cafe a late. I'm not sure that's how you say it, but I'm not familiar with that language. So, cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Okay, I guess that's how you say it. Cafe au lait. Is that even legal? Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you are the spoon. You are, huh? I'm a spoon? I'm not a spoony bard, however you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick, may I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have meant to me that Maya actually saw our mystery person. Despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! Order! What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Fay saw the real killer under a pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene.
Objection!
There were some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Ha! You talk a good game, Trite. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Fay saw in the darkness? Well, there was one other person who was on that island after the lightning struck the bridge, and that was Godot himself.
Take that!
Because it was pitch black, Miss Fay was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? How do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. You just need to recreate the conditions of that night. conditions? Your Honor, the defense of official requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. This is... but it can't be. Ha. That was a nice bit of deduction. Trite. Well, everyone? This is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya. I thought the person that said my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. What? Witness, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... the killer. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. So since the person who did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No need to apologize. As Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. The torches were lit? Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how there would be any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. So you were saying that the killers cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they were all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. An odd fellow indeed, like this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take the snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the video's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. Maybe our crops ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. It looks like there were some mysteries behind this issue. But I think this will help explain them. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one in the inner temple that night. It was just Sister Bikini had come back and looked in the garden. She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly not an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think that it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. Interesting. He didn't seem to notice the Maya there on the stone lantern.
Objection!
The body of Elise Dinim was carried all the way to the Hazakura Temple's courtyard. And in the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't he wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right. Order. But, Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer is trying to cover up this crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, and then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
Objection!
But if that's the case, do you have any explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? The killer didn't notice it. It has to be it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There was only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? It can be Godot, because he said earlier he has some trouble with the color red.
Take that!
Mr. Godot, this is what you said earlier yesterday. My eyesight's pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, this is written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During that supposed case at Tribulations, this is the apron this is the apron the delightful Miss Brewer was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on it. There's something else still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Ha! It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot? Hang on. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Denim, also known as Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha! Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's been there.
Objection!
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. You go on, try it. The answer is right there in the crime scene. In the snow? The snow? How so? Wait. Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Ah, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection!
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Wait just a minute. Maya. What is it, witness? Mr. Godot, isn't the killer... After all, you didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I mean, look at but... Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence. I should say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Trite. Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the Inner Temple, too. After the incident. Pearlie was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearlie? That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago, when I was in a medical office. I'm terribly sorry. But what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on. Pearlie would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person I'll ever be. You're the smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha! The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot? Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, But, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started. Okay. Interesting. You cheered her up? That's what Coach said. She's he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the Indian Temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-toothed combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. Let's do this one. You said you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, right? After all, I didn't miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy? So from there you headed for the prep room? Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when a murder tree was taking place? He must have already been in the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed at least an M. Hang on a second. That's what it originally looked like.
Objection!
Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Pesky Bridge and went into the inner temple, was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? But... Mr. Godot was right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? Why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the... Because gravy is much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Fey. Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look, at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that is the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, Mr. Godot described what was underneath that like this. Clad in a stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, we were hiding in the inner temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Goodall, I knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? Well, there's only one thing I can think of, and that's this. I believe this is it, actually.
Take that!
This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple. And you still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. You just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? Doing a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order, order, order! Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated by it and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation between a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
Objection!
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unthinkable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies in the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. I believe that's Mia Fey herself.
Take that!
There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey? You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honest, piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot, his real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. Only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Oh, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. That's terrible. Apparently it was a miracle that you ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poisoned brew. And one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Ha! Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's so sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away the best days, there was only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. And let me ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, trite. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would never have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Mia Fey. Huh? You mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the crime for those incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan Fey at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. Does that make sense? If Pearl had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazukiwa Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey. But how did you contact my mother? She has been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean, officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the master of the crime had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Fey was still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother? was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hezekiah Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother. That night, the night of the crime. There was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean pearls? You mean pearls, don't you? You had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fay had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If you channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Crime, Misty Fay's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fay. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Trite. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There was just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There were only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fay, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick, please don't. Maya, I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I had to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia, and me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Fay, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? The time of the murder. Hang on. I'm going to pause the recording for just a moment. Okay. I took a long drink of water, and now I think I'm ready. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red light went out, and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed, and I lost consciousness. These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Ha! Things break, right? Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Okay, nearly done here. Press this.
Hold it!
What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. What? So then, that scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There has to be a contradiction here. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. I said that kind of too casual tonight, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she just gave, before the killer let out a scream. Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Oh, is that right? She couldn't have struck the back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that would cause the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, right? There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at a killer? Only one thing. The dagger.
Take that!
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found in the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found it this morning and brought it to me. Godly Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, but she managed to wound him as well.
Objection!
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
Objection!
Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis on the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? You mean he won't be able to retrieve the results of the scientific test? Ha! Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found in this morning by a detective and brought it to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here into the courtroom. Yes? What does that prove? Well, am I really worth a killer? I could have washed it straight off and then planted another person's blood on it. It can't be. In any case, there was one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, Ms. Witness, continue to... Wait a minute. What's the problem? I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in the explanation. Maya, this dagger, you said that it had wounded the killer? That's right. But, if Mr. Godot had really been cut with a dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember that back to the day of the murder, everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there. Oh, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. Wait, wrong voice. Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Order in the court. What the witness... Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? The judge just takes smart pills during the class recess. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them.
Objection!
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night? After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Ha. So that's all you've got. I knew you wouldn't be tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia was here, if Mia Fey were here, so come on, Trite, can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Ha! That's good. A fighter till the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Just in case, I'm not going to take any chances about this, so just in case I make a mistake by accident, I'm going to say, let me go for the unlimited penalty. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's see what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided that it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer couldn't have hidden his wound. What did you say? Hidden? This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there are no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how we hid the wound. And it's the end of the line. The final stop, right? Let's see what you've got. Where's this location when you say the killer hid his wound? It's obviously under his mask. That can only be the only place where it could be. Okay. Yeah, it's Godot's profile.
Take that!
Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Is that right, Trite? What was that just now? Where were Godot's thoughts? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask would fly off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Arrgh. Just now, I saw a spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped a woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let me die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow her in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could ever find in my heart to forgive was me. You, yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Mia, no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But, you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? I talked about Nick, but I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, a part of me must have known the truth. The truth that there wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne sitting there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from my Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where you left off as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Godot. think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Thanks. Your wound. It's bleeding. Ha! Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando, you do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor? Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and a crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize? To me? For what? For the case 5 years ago, of course. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister, you only met twice. Huh? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed. No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny. You mean... That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. So that's why my sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? She already knew you had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. And that's why you came to me? You came to get the ball pendant back from me in the place? But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about the plans for you that day. It was the first time that it ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life or mine. Iris, after spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. I have something to say to you, too. Yes? You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dolly Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Thank you. How many cups of donuts have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix, right? Oh, that's the first time I think the first time he's called him by his real name. Oh. Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule out the murder of the victim, Elise Dunin. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find that the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned. February 10th, 4:51 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Mia! I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando. The man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia! You've accomplished something I wasn't able to do. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along with this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya. I guess it's just like my sis said. Mia? What did she say? That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, This is what you wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Nick. Maya. How? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. Even so, your mother murdered. Youch! And Francisca! See how that stuff is always Phoenix, right? Excellent work, right? Huh? Mr. Ashworth? When did you get back? Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Ashworth and Francisca have actually been helping me. Helping you? If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gone anywhere. Wow. Well, where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into the liver and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he lay in bed shivering from his fever, with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ouch! Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisca? I don't suppose... Oh, him. There's room for me in this group hug, is there? Oh, Larry. What's with the, longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. That's not true, right, Nick? What? You asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Is that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face? Huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Fancy? Did I draw you well, too? Night Beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. So you do it, like you promised? You're going to model for me my next picture book? Fancy's... Don't get carried away. Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. And painting a pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls, where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Hey, Pearly. Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you were wondering how Maya could be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Francisca. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, it was someone that was hurt from far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow! Then tell me Phoenix is right. Who is Maya Fey being drunk for? I think it's Pearl herself. Yeah, it's Pearl.
Take that!
Pearl Fey? Poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved her and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she could see her smile again. Oh hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we've got quite a bunch of Ouch! What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My son was just sort of kind of gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ah, pretty good work, Scruffy. That was your reward. Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean... Très bien. We're out. I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. Don't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you. Hi, baby. You're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, I can't find her anywhere. Huh? I bet she just went back home. That's all. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before. As I figured, she's been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do? Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? You guys go on ahead. But what about you? Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls. Nick! Don't worry about it. Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. You may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the... But you will, Phoenix, right? We're going ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't. But where should we look? Where could we have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. February 10th, Hazakura Temple, main gate. Hazakura Temple. For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. Whoops. After all, this is where this whole incident started. What's this? You are back again so soon? Is this a bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Okay. Pearly's not here. Ah. Maya. The hanging scroll. Ah. Someone cleaned it off. It's got to be pearls. Ah! Missing Maya! Pearly! Why? Why do you just leave like that? Missing Maya! Missing Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all not my fault that missing Maya's mother. That's why I came here. It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Missing Maya. I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini. Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of Crane, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true, she'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die. There's a rule or something all masters ought to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die. That's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather, it was the contents. That's a photo? Ah. Mother. It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Can't help but laugh at that. It's clearly Mia and Maya when they were younger. Looks like that drawer is spoken more than once. Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. Ah, this is the day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training any time. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start, too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise. I know, and it won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for three when you come back. Alright, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Missing Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing that I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all. Why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally. Huh? That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Missing Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hard coals, right? We'll have a nice, big meal before we come next time. Right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well, then, here goes nothing.
Objection!
Well, that's the end. There's a bit of dialogue here, so I'll have to read it fast. I'll really have to work extra hard now. Master of crying and the office men to write and call offices, and to be a good big sister of Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. It goes by fast, so I can't really have to concentrate. So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Missing Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special auto course here too. I think I was surprised the two of them were making them a secret reservation. I can buy me a brand new car as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, man will show himself silly. Mr. Knight, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Flying exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Mr. Von Kummer, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip, and said I must show you what I've learned. The city and I started a company called Mask to Mask Consulting. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is, cut it out, please! Pretty cute, huh? Well, we also sell plans to the criminals. It's kind of a side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think we maybe we're worse criminals. I wanted to show my appreciation for Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tiger, so lent him $500,000 and a tea set, A special thick tea, one to mix with my own two hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Went through compromise. Hee hee hee. I'm just an old and in the way. A wrinkly, grumpy clown knows ways of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 9 years old, I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Matta. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. Another palindrome, huh? Okay. My. More reporters? Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I need magazines like us because we provide such nice visuals, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Ha 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 ho ho ho. Such a respectable man, Phoebe. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when a little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Objection!
Ben Grumman Judd.
Objection!
Stone King.
Objection!
Christina Catano.
Objection!
William C. Wilson.
Objection!
Jen and Sue. David Crislip. I get a kick out of his voice. Oh boy. What's this? I'm back from a long and trying vacation and no one is here to greet me? I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit and I've got no one. And what kind of lonely, crazy security was this supposed to be anyway? What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now what I'm going to do with all these mystery magazine nuts I brought back for everyone. Let me go there to poo. I know some of these. I really can't least I'm afraid. Art. Oh well, we're for the gentleman who fit me. I get a kick out of reading old bag. She's so funny. I finally found something that I love to do. Fancy's whip trip has gone to turn this world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. Good for you, Larry. Oh, it's a really good sketch. Well, I believe that's the end. Alright. Well, that brings us to the end of this case, this game, and this entire trilogy. I really enjoyed playing this game. Until I was introduced to a few years ago on YouTube. I I saw a few of the cases, then I was able to buy it myself on Steam, and I already had played it before I did this LP, so I already knew most of the secrets. In any case, I really enjoyed playing it. I think I already said that anyway. What was going to say? Yeah, like I said at the beginning of this particular case, Bridge to Terminal is definitely my favorite of all the cases of the entire trilogy. It is pretty long, but it's worth every minute you spend on it. And I highly recommend you get this trilogy if you have Steam and play it yourself. In any case, as for my plans on what's next, I will be taking a little break from both uploading and recording videos once this one is done. I have some things to catch up on, personally. Although by the time you see this, I would have already started my new LP anyway, at least the recording part. After this one, you won't see another LP video from me for at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'll have to wait and see. It should be May 2nd on the day you see this video. As I'm recording it, it's actually February 10th, so it's almost 3 months ago from the time I recorded it when you see this. I do plan to do a video of my ranking of the cases of this game, or the entire trilogy, of all 14 of them. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to have to figure out to do it in any case. So, with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and my next LP, when it happens, I'm not going to tell you what that is, because even though I already know what it will be, it's still a surprise. But I can guarantee you the next LP, the next game I play, will not be even close to be as long as this game was. Or rather, this trilogy. Because it's one trilogy, 3 different games. So you have to wait to find out when the next one is, which will likely be coming sometime in mid-May. Maybe the 20th or so. I'll have to wait and see. Maybe the 16th, actually. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. It's just under 2 hours. So, until next time, everyone, take care, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next adventure.